All right, welcome back to the channel. I am here with Edison format legend. We have Raikoko7, who just topped RBET with Hero Frogs, playing the list you see before you. You know, I've seen many Hero Frog decks. I noticed that lately a lot of them have been playing a lot more traps, going down on Battle Fader and stuff like that, although you do still tech one. But this build is obviously good enough to top with. Did you like the Threatening Roars and everything?
Oh yeah, Threatening Roar. Threatening Roar is really good. Like the whole weekend, Threatening Roar is really good. Honestly, I don't know if I'd play Fader again or not. Like I didn't use it very much at all, so I didn't have like enough like testing with it. But I definitely sided out like most matchups.
Yeah, because you don't want to get deck devied, right? So you have to go down.
Exactly. And but I also played against a lot of blackwings and value. So
Yeah. How was Wing Blast? Because you play more Wing Blast than Raigeki Break. So how was this performing
yeah,
for you?
overall, I do think Wind Blast is a little bit better. But I mean, they both, of course, have their
Pros and cons.
yeah, pros and cons for them. But like, I don't know, like just returning like something like even like oppression or something like when like after your spell, like you're special summoning and then you're just wind blasting oppression and then they have to draw it again. Like, I don't know. I guess just overall as a card, I do like wind blast more.
Yeah. The only time, honestly, that Wing Blast is inferior to Raigeki Break is when you're dealing with a really problematic card like JD, Dark and Black Whirlwind. Every other time, though, Wing Blast is just a way better card to have. Like, if I'm returning a Bottomless Trap Hole to the top of your deck on the end phase, and then I summon a Caius, and you have to draw a Bottomless Trap Hole, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like, you're in a bad
Exactly.
spot. So I agree that, like, in a lot of scenarios, you ever have Wing Blast. In a lot of scenarios, you ever have Raigeki Break. The reason why I originally chose just 3 Raigeki Breaks was because it was the most consistent one. It just did what I needed it to do every game, and it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of Wing Blast messing up their draw, or Karma Cut banishing that monster and all of her copies. All of the discard traps, they all have their pros and cons. Raigeki Break is just like right in the middle. Karma Cut in theory is really good right now. Like I could even see maining Karma Cut just because the format is really heavy on these crazy ass graveyard decks. Like Christius Warren is very popular right now, more popular than it's ever been, I think. And Dragon Turbo is more popular now. Obviously, Frogs are always going to be a popular deck, and then Value Turbo is like the deck of the year. So Karma Cut in theory seems really good. Raigeki Break is always going to be solid, and then you got your Wing Blast to just be the card that can like really mess up their draw and probably just win you a game. But yeah, so in terms of things that you changed as well, you do not play Prodigy, so talk about that for a little bit.
The card's only really good, I feel like, if you're like going first, you have Subtoad, because that's
Yeah.
when the card feels really good. But like you can't like even e-call it or rota it, so it's like you have to hard draw it. Unless they're like getting rid of your Treeborn, the card like more or less doesn't really do much.
Yeah, I agree.
So like if anything, I would almost rather have like a second Malicious Edge or whatever over that. I feel like if I really wanted a 5th hero, but I think the 4 is good though, personally.
Yeah, I do like 5 heroes, don't get me wrong, because the games that I lose with this deck typically are because I just don't fucking draw one, or I don't draw. Yeah, typically I just don't draw. I just don't draw one, and it's really frustrating.
You know what's really funny about this whole tournament is like I'll say I do think like if we like, for example, we went over like all my replays from the event, I would say that my hands were like definitely below average overall. And like I was like my roommate was with me and he was like watching all of my games and he was just like, man, like you just like I would either open like double Miracle Fusion with no heroes, or I would open like Alias, Ocean, Stratos, and I'm like, what is happening? And I opened like 2 Treeborn Frogs on like the 3 different games, and I'm just
Yeah.
like, I was drawing some very awkward hands. I was definitely pretty upset with the deck, and I'm honestly kind of amazed that I got that far with some of the hands I was drawing.
I don't know how to take that. Is that saying that the deck is really good at that point because it was able to you were able to get top 8 by drawing you drew shit, like you just drew bad, and you were still able to make top 8.
I will say that I did have some really good top decks that saved me. That definitely did happen like 2 or 3 times.
Right, but that makes sense if you're drawing. Okay, so if my opening hand is bad, then like, what do you want me to draw at that point, right? Like, I can only probably draw the good part of my deck. This is another thing with Frogs. It's a deck that thins itself out over time, right? It does it probably better than all the other decks except Dragon Turbo. I think Dragon Turbo is the only deck that literally can thin itself out faster. But Frogs thins itself out really quickly, and then it leaves itself with like a deck of, I call them bombs. Just like, oh, I have all my Caiuses left. I have all my Miracle Fusions left. I have the discard traps that at certain times are really, really, really good in simplified game states or in certain game states. And that is very, very strong. So it gets to a point where it's like, I don't have anything to draw but good cards in theory after a point. And this deck is really good in a simplified game state and also in a top decking kind of situation or if your opponent has low resources, it's kind of hard to deal with frogs because the Treeborn Frog +1, and then any Monarch or whatever Junk Synchron is like broken as hell at certain times. But yeah, the deck is great. I like that you play Econ. A lot of people cut that card completely. I don't really agree with that. I think Econ is one of the reasons why frogs are one of the best decks. I think Brain Control is the best card in the format. So like playing additional copies of Brain Control is really, to me, one of the reasons why frogs is one of the best decks in the format and always will be, just because it gets to play multiple copies of Brain Control, basically.
Yeah, no, I definitely, I don't think I would ever cut enemy controller. Like, even though there's certain matchups I would side it out in.
Correct.
I definitely do like having it. And yeah, and what you're saying, like the deck thinning, like that's why like you can just play like frogs with like pretty much almost any engine, and it's like is solid because like just like it once you do the sub combo, like it gets rid of like most of the dead draws at that point pretty much, because like the frog cards, like when you draw a bunch of frogs, a lot of times that's bad.
Yes.
But like if you can just sub combo and then like the rest of your deck is like, yeah, just pretty much mostly just good cards, like that's what makes the deck so strong. Like if the games last a while, like you're in a really good spot.
Yeah, agreed. How do you feel about having Mirror Force and Torrential in the main deck?
Oh yeah, no, 100%. I would always do that for sure. No, they were really good the whole event for sure.
I think another thing is that
Mirror.
yeah, people don't respect them. They still haven't gotten hip to the idea that frog decks are maining them. So like I sided them back at Nationals, and they were sided for a while. Now they're just fully being main deck, and that I think that people are still going to get caught off guard by main deck Mirror Force, main deck Torrential against frog. You just think that like, oh, it's probably a Regeki break back there, right? And it's just it's fucking Mirror Force.
I think it's less about people not like knowing that you play it, and more that they're just assuming it's one of the other cards. Like
like Regeki break.
Yeah, and they also like a lot of times don't want to like MST before they do something because you're playing more chainables than not. So it's like they'll just wait and then they get punished.
Yeah, the only non-chainables are Mirror Force and Torrential. Everything else in this trap lineup is actually chainable. Interestingly enough, that is a strength for frogs too. It makes cards like MST, Dust Tornado, Heavy Storm not as good, especially Threatening Roar. When they go Heavy Storm and you just go chain Threatening Roar, and they were planning to like kill you that turn with a Dark Arm play or return or something like that, and you just go chain Threatening Roar, it's really bad after that. It's like, bro, you just wasted that. And now I know that like you plan to make some big push, so I can like pivot to now I'm going to play my Miracle Fusion so that I'm safe or whatever, right? Really good there. But yeah, Threatening Roar is nice. I like that Threatening Roar. So I love Battle Fader because it makes people commit to the field and then you clean it up. But I like Threatening Roar because people will try to hit it with a monster like Dark Arm or even a Caius in desperate situations, and you'll just chain it, but also it protects your monsters from dying at all. And sometimes that is the reason why you win. So for example, you have a Caius on the field and they try to attack over it or do something like, oh, start its attack. And you're just like, I'll Threatening Roar that, and then I'll summon Swap Frog next turn and bounce the Caius back to my hand. Battle Fader doesn't help you in that situation, right? So protecting your monarchs for a whole turn is really important for Swap Frog purposes, which I'm just noticing now. You play 2 Swap Frogs, so you're on that train, right?
Yeah, I definitely do think that is right, to play the 2, because like again, like when you draw too many frogs, that can be really bad.
Yeah.
I definitely do think 2 is the right move there. And yeah, and what you were saying about, or like that's exactly, like it was crazy when people were playing like 3 faders. Yeah. And I just hate that you can oppression fader. That's the other thing that's really brutal. But Threatening Roar, being able to protect your monsters, like, so they don't even have to attack direct, is also really big.
Yeah, I agree. Also, Threatening Roar is better against Dragon Turbo for what it's worth. Like that does matter.
Yeah.
It's better. Also, it's better against Christius Warren. It's better against 2 matchups that are kind of bad for frogs. So right now, I think that we're in a meta where Threatening Roar makes more sense than Battle Fader. Like it just does. And I do like the 1 fader though, just because if people know that you play the 1, or at least they won't know that you play just 1, but if people know that you play the card, they might actually throw some caution to you. You know what I mean? Like they might actually be afraid to do certain things because they're like, oh, I know he plays Fader. The same way people, when they know you play Mirror Force Torrential, like let's say somebody's watching your game and they see a Mirror Force game 1, they're like, oh fuck, this guy plays Mirror Force in his main deck. So like the whole match, they have to respect it. The same thing with Torrential. They have to respect it the entire match because once they see it, it's like, damn, this guy does play these cards. So they might not push and that might give you extra turns. And it's like that whole Yu-Gi-Oh psychology there. So I like the 1-ofs. I like the 1 Fader, the 1 Torrential, the 1 Mirror Force and all that stuff. Like that all sits well with me.
I'm really big on playing like 1-of cards in general. That's always been like one of my things for sure, is just playing like 1-of stuff. Like you can look at my side deck, even like I play 1 of almost every card in my side deck.
Yeah, the only multiples are Dust Tornado, Deep Prison, and Vanity's Fiend, and those make sense because you do want to draw.
Yeah, the only
multiples.
one that like could maybe be a one-up would be D Prison, because like I mean, if anything, you'd play 3 Dust Tornadoes before you play 1. So
Yes, I agree with you there. I actually would play 3 Dust Tornadoes right now, just because I personally, the matchup that I hate probably the most with this deck is actually blackwings. I fucking hate playing against blackwings with this deck. It's not a hard matchup unless they have whirlwind. So to me, the only thing I really want to do in that matchup is stop whirlwind, and I can deal with anything else that deck does. So I like the Dust Tornadoes to just deal with that. 2 is fine. It's not like it's bad or anything like that, but I just OD
I
on Dust
agree with
Tornado.
you, actually. I agree. I think I would cut Needle Ceiling for a 3rd Dust Tornado if I like going back. I think that's what I would do.
So question, since you're talking about that, what cards underperformed for you? Was Needle Ceiling one of the cards that you just weren't really like happy with?
Yeah, I just like I didn't find myself wanting to really put it in too many matchups. Like I don't even know, like, because like I said, like I looked at like other people's lists online and like just because like I entered the tournament, like I didn't even play a match with this deck. I didn't play a single match like the whole week before, other than like War League, which was a completely different build that I think Pro Storm maybe just put, like, because I didn't even like give them a deck list, like, because I was at Raleigh and like they just submitted a deck for me, so I just had to play whatever they built for me.
Yeah.
I didn't even play with the deck at all before I like played in the RBET, and Needle Ceiling was just in there, and I was like, well, I'll give it a go. Like, it's obviously really cool if it goes off, but like, I don't know. I don't like the idea of like having it and it just being completely dead. Like, obviously, like against Dragon Turbo, it's fine. Like, they're gonna commit a lot of monsters, but like even something like Christius Horn, like they're probably gonna pop your back row before they get too many monsters on the field. Like, I don't know. I put it in against zombies, and like I don't even know if that's like worth it.
Yeah, I don't think so in hindsight.
Yeah. So I think the card just doesn't quite like cover enough, I guess is what I would say.
That's fair. How was Breaker? Did you put that in?
I put it in, and I think I would play it again. Actually, no, it did come up. It's actually in one of the replays I sent you. It did good against in a blackwing matchup.
Okay, that's really good. If he pops a whirlwind or a deep prison attacks a Faustina, that's great. Like, if it does anything like that, that's actually really amazing.
I would definitely keep it.
Yeah,
For,
you do play Super Poly
like,
too.
Being able to hit Raikos, like hit like pop a back row and then attack a Raiko and stuff like that.
That's a great trade too. Pop a back row, attack a face down. It's a Raiko. Beating over Faustina, can't have that enough. Also, it's not a deck dev monster. It doesn't get hit by that card. The one Kaiku.
That's another reason. I'm terrified of that card.
Yeah, I know you. Most people are. It's an auto win in some situations, but good frog players, they just side down on their targets, and then like it makes the card not as devastating unless it's literally turn 1. I have not done a single thing and you deck dev. Then it's like, okay, it might be game. But
yeah, no, I don't think deck dev is like crushing it versus frogs at this point with the way people play it.
Yeah, it's almost, and this is why we talk about deck dev game 1 is better against frogs than it is games 2 and 3. Like, it's actually gotten to that point. One Sirocco. I like this tech. I like the one Kaiko as well. These make a lot of sense. Put this in against Vayu. Put this in against Christia Sworn. And in terms of extra deck, I see you.
Well, I will say I didn't actually put in Kaiku when I played against Christia Sworn because he's playing like the Wolves. Like, if he's playing Soul and Purity, 100% put in the Kaiku. But like, I didn't want to put it in because like Wolf just attacks over it, and that was my reasoning.
I would still put it in, and the reason is because I feel like this card could actually steal a game. I'm not saying it's going to guarantee happen, but one of the situations that can occur is that if you ever get a chance to like Miracle Fusion and normal summon Kaiku, you would be in an amazing spot, because that turn you're definitely getting a hit off with him, and that, like, he just messes up everything they have going on. Usually, like, you can manipulate their graveyard in a way that's so bad for them. So I could see it going. Obviously, it can go both ways, right? You could just be facing a wolf and be like, I wish that this fucking Kaiku was anything else. But I think more often than not, I just want, against that matchup, you need every ignorant chance you can take. Like, my side deck, they're like, looking at this double Vanity's Fiend, I'm putting in the DD Crow, I'm putting in the Kaiku. Smash and Ground, I know some people like this. I guess it's okay because of JD is not just Christie in that deck, so probably the Smash and Ground as well.
Yeah, I did. I put in the Smashing and the Soul Release, of course.
And the Soul Release. Maybe Needle Ceiling if you feel like they're on the Wolf build and it's getting out of hand, but I don't know. Like, I've never really played with this card. Yeah, and then the Deep Prisons you have to put in as well for Christia. So I would side in 10 cards in your side deck against that deck. I'm throwing the whole house at them and just hoping that something sticks. It's bad. Like, the matchup is obviously awful. We talked about it a lot prior to this call, but just like Christia Sworn is definitely one of the decks that you do not want to play at all with frogs of any kind. I don't care what frog deck you're playing. Christia Sworn is a deck that you just don't want to run into. And it's a deck that eliminated you in top 8, right?
Yeah, no, and I the night before, when I was realized who my opponent was, and it's one of our teammates as well. So I was like, do I even wake up in the morning, or do I just give him the win? Nah, but I was like, no, I'm gonna give it my best and actually try to win. But yeah, no, it's a very brutal matchup for sure.
Yeah. So quick question. In terms of matchups that you did have during the double elimination bracket before top 8, did you play against any Value Turbo?
Oh yeah, I played. Let's see. I think it was either 3 Value and 2 blackwings or 3 blackwings and 2 Value. I think it was
Damn.
3 Value though.
What was your loss before top 8?
It was to 1 Value in round 4. I guess it's round 3 because I had like I don't know, the bracket's a little confusing to me, but like I was like already advanced, like I'd already basically won a round even though I didn't play it.
Yeah, I think that's because of your seeding in Edison format. Like I think you're just seeded higher.
Right. I guess that's what it is. So
Maybe I don't know. I don't know if Keegan server uses the actual seeding from like other Discord servers or anything. It could be
his own, but I've also won an RBET, so that might affect it. I don't actually know.
Yeah, I don't, because at that time when you won the RBET, I feel like he was using the Jazz. Like,
no, that is true. That was back when they were like working together.
Right. So I have no idea if that was the reason, or you just got like absolutely lucky and just moved. You just happened to be in that spot.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I was happy to be there because I didn't have to even play. Like I had 2 of my friends over, and they were also playing in the event, and they had to play like and I was just like able to watch stuff while they were playing. So
that's so fun. A little dueling watch party type of thing, or like a dueling tournament party.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I pretty much always do it with those events, but yeah, like round 1, I played against like this anti-meta deck that was playing like winged rhinos, which was wild. I was like, I don't know what this guy's doing.
Oh, I saw that deck before.
Did you? You know what's really funny though is I actually think I would have lost game 1 if I didn't set MST because I didn't even know what I was playing against, and I was like, setting MST is kind of risky for frogs, turn 1. But like I set dupe and set MST, and I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go with it. Let's see what happens. And then the guy sets Deck Devi, Dust Shoot, and Fusler Dragon. And I MST the Dust Shoot, or the Deck Devi. I MST the Deck Devi on end phase, and that like saved me. Like I was screwed if he got that Deck Devi off.
That is, I mean, I always say it. Every Yu-Gi-Oh player who's ever done well in any tournament, you need luck to win. That's just a part of it.
Oh yeah.
So you sniped it. You hit that. He had 3 back row, 33% chance.
2. No, he had 2. He had Dust Shoot and Deck Devi, and then he had Fusler set.
Okay, 50-50. Yeah, that's not. Yeah, we win 50-50s all the time. We take those. We take those every time.
Let's see, I played against Dragon Turbo after that, and like that was a really close match where like I won by brain controlling his 5-headed dragon, which was pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I thought I was done for. I thought I was gonna lose that match, and then my first loss was my 3rd round versus Value.
Yep. Did anything special happen in that match, or was it just like?
I feel like it was definitely like a really unfortunate circumstance for sure. As far as like, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I know I was just like, this is ridiculous. Like, I think he made a big play and then someone false dyna, and then my hand was just dead. I'm pretty sure.
That happens. I hate it. I hate to admit it too, but that doesn't just happen. Like they literally, you could be winning the game or it'd be like a pretty decent game, and out of nowhere, they just like do something that pushes their advantage and also summon Fossildyne in the same turn to floodgate you. And next thing you're just losing like badly too.
Yeah. Like I just had nothing to get rid of Fossildyne. So I was just dead. I drew my card and I was like, yep, you got me.
I even had turns where like I will be able to out the Dyna, but I just die anyway because of what else is on the field. You know what I mean? Like you have to spend a turn outing the Dyna, but then like, okay, well now I'm just dead to the rest of what you're doing. Even if I get rid of the Dyna, it sucks.
Yeah,
that's why I complain about that card a lot. But your side deck is well equipped. It looks like if you draw it, like you have the double D prison Kaikus. I assume you side in Compulse against Value Turbo.
Mm-hmm.
Sirocco is really good. The Breaker is really good, and then like you can put in DD Crow. You can put in Vanity's Fiend, stuff like that as well. So there's plenty to work around. You did beat 2 of them anyway. It's not like you lost all your Value matchups or anything.
Yeah, so. No, and one of them was against Samu, the world, the dude that won Worlds.
Yep. He's a pretty good Value player, so that's a good win right there.
Yeah, I remember like right after I actually beat him, I was like, all right, I'm like, I gotta like really fucking buckle up and like try my best to like wait to actually top 8 this tournament, because I was like, that's probably gonna be one of my hardest opponents in the tournament. It's probably gonna be him. So like after I actually was able to beat him, I was like, all right, I gotta really like. Yeah, because I made some bad plays against him game 1, and like I was like, all right, I'm like I really need to like, because I was just going a little too fast. I was like, I just need to take my time a little bit more.
Yeah, that happens. Let's watch some of these replays. So we got 2 replays here. The first one is against Master Riku. So let's see what this one is all about.
Yeah, this one's pretty good.
All right, so you open up one of my favorite openings, Stratos plus Swap Frog. So usually when I have this opening, oh my god, but you drew all your heroes. That's annoying.
Yeah.
I
You're gonna
hate...
say discard and bounce it. I didn't want to leave.
No, I don't bounce Stratos usually. I just want to get this in the graveyard immediately. That way, if I do happen to draw a monarch, or if I want to do the substitute play turn 2, I can do it from this position, because I'll be like, right now he just went T-set. You be drawing and bringing back Dreamer Frog, and then you go normal summon substitute here. Or if you had like a monarch, you have an option. It's not that you have to do those plays, but you just have the option because this is in the grave.
Yeah, I think I knew he was on blackwings though, and I didn't want to like. I didn't want. Well, I guess you're just saying to bounce the swap, right?
Yeah, I would have bounced the swap if you know, especially if you know he's on blackwings. Like, and this is a double elimination bracket, so typically by this point in the tournament, people do know what everyone, like, you know what your opponent is playing usually in the next round, because they can like watch each other, and people just tell you like, oh, he's on this or whatever. Okay, so now you have a dupe frog set. Good. So this is good, just in case he did something. Sure, you don't give him something to beat over. Yeah, he's just waiting to Icarus attack you. This is good. This is good that you're playing like this, where you're not doing anything that he could chain this to and make this mistiming, even though he doesn't really know. Your hand is just so awkward, though. Yeah, here we go. Thin this deck out. This deck needs to be... You need to start drawing Miracles and Caiuses.
Yeah, my hand, like I said, this is what I was drawing a lot of this tournament.
Yeah.
That play was also not very good on his part. He definitely just missed like damage for no reason.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
And you see pop Substitute and attack Duke Frog instead of the other way.
Yeah, that was wild. I'm not really sure what to think of that.
Yeah, he just missed damage for no reason there.
Yeah, that was interesting. Okay, you drew a Caius, which is great. Oh shit, you're like, I'm just going to...
Yeah, I missed the... well, I guess you're about to see what happens. I didn't hit the judgment.
Yeah, that sucks. Ooh, this is game, isn't it? Yep, that's game. I mean, your hand, you just had all normal summons in your hand. Like, it was just so many of them, so that's never good against any deck. You know what? I'll take the 16 over that being Ashura. So that's not the worst.
I was a little nervous about that, but I was like, you know, I'm just gonna... I didn't want to like spin the substitute there.
Yeah.
On turn 1.
Yep, he's going to prison. You still have your wall. Get Stratos out the deck, so you only have an alias left now. Okay. Yep. This is all fine. 2 back row.
Yeah, this was interesting. He compulsed the breaker there. That's what I was talking about. This is the matchup where breaker was like pretty good. He just compulsed it. Like, I was like, okay.
I wonder if he realizes that you can pull the rug. Like, I wonder if in his head you can only use this on monarchs or something. Like, I don't know if he realizes that breaker is a monster. That this is one of the reasons why I have never played breaker yet. I'm going to test it. I've never played it, but obviously one of the main things that people talk about when they talk about breaker is that like it can get pulling the rug, which is awkward because at that point, like, I'd rather just be a fucking monarch or something. It's just like, all right. But
I do think breaker is solid.
It's not the worst, because like I do specifically like that it beats this fucker, even though, yeah, it beats this guy. The problem is that specifically everyone sides this card too. So when you're side decking, my philosophy is always I'm trying to side deck against what they're going to side against me, right? And so with that being said, if I know they're pulling a rug, me putting in more cards that get pulling a rug is a little annoying to have to deal with that. Like if he just pulling a rug that breaker, this would be a bit of a different game because he would still have his compulse that he used for no reason at all.
I think that's like the biggest strengths of that bring control top deck, as you see right there, was huge. I was damn near about to lose, but I think that's one of the biggest strengths of Hero Frogs is just like the deck can like do a lot of different things.
It can.
So it's like
it's hard
pulling
to
the
stop
rug.
it.
Like there's times when pulling the rug isn't even good, you know?
Agreed. Miracle Fusion is one of them. And this guy, the fucking 2600 trample monster that doesn't do anything when he's summoned. Yep, we take those.
I knew that was going to be pulling the rug, but I was like, I just got to...
Come scores. He's cooked now.
I didn't even know he had freaking Trench on his hand. That's hilarious.
Yeah. But this is where... Okay, you didn't do it. I was going to say, this is where a Wing Blast would be really bad for him. Like a Wing, because he just has 2 traps, so it's so bad to have to draw one of these again. Oh, he's gonna draw one of
I
them
don't
again
know
anyway.
why I didn't do it on end phase, but I ended up doing it now.
They
I
don't really
remember
have.
why.
Outside of the only punish that he could have had is Legacy Yatagarasu. That's the only punish he could have had. Anything else in
Yeah.
Blackwings is going to be dead, so it's not like it's crazy. He's just dead now though. Like I don't know why he's not scooping. You don't have to summon a monster for the rest of the game.
I guess he might think I might summon.
Yeah, but Mirror Force is gone. It's like I would just not waste our time.
This game is pretty cool. This is the one that I really wanted to see.
Oh, Prohibition.
Do you like that trap stun versus Hero Frogs?
No, I do not. I'm not sure what's going on here. I was trying to ignore it, but you called attention to it, so I don't know.
This guy was doing some interesting stuff for sure, but he was. I mean, this was the match to decide. This was the last round, so this is what decided who went to top 8.
Are you serious? This is the match right here?
Yeah, this is the final round that I played before top 8.
The guy who compulsed your breaker instead of actually pulling a rug on it and also sided in trap stun is the last opponent?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he was like. I mean, those are some plays I would definitely say aren't good, but I mean, maybe he was playing better. And this play is interesting too, right there.
What is happening? Okay.
Yeah. To be fair, Blackwings is one of the decks though that if you're not good, you could get far just by drawing Whirlwind Alive.
That's very, very true. I think that it is by far. So the reason why I think Blackwings is the best deck is just because it's the easiest deck to do well with. You can give it to somebody who's new, and they could beat somebody who's really good.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And Blackwings also just has like a crazy matchup spread. Like, it has so many matchups that are really good for it.
Yeah, agreed. Frogs being one of them.
Yeah, somehow didn't lose to any Blackwings though. So,
well, no offense to Riku, but if this is your opponent, I wouldn't lose to him either. Hopefully, he calls Treeborn Frog. Okay, so you're like, that's fine. Your hand is actually set up so nice. Oh gosh. Oh gosh.
Look at that top deck.
Oh, get him. Yeah, you already won though with the double wing blast. He was just gonna lose. Like the way the game was playing out, he was gonna lose anyway. But like that just made it super crazy. Cause you could have wing blast also the Prohibition when you were ready to, and then Caiused him because he called Treeborn. So you're just like, I'm just gonna wing blast this and make you draw it, and then I'll bring back my Treeborn and Caiused you if you ever do something that's meaningful. I don't think he was gonna. Yeah, he was in a bad spot. He was in a bad spot. All right, let's watch. This match is the top 8 match. Now we talked about this prior to the call, but you were saying how like you just got pretty much bodied, right? Like it's Christy Swan.
Yeah, and I'm really curious when we get to the beginning of game 2. I want to ask what play you would make.
Okay, I'll give you my honest play. I'll even turn the hands off so I could say it without seeing his hand.
Definitely don't look at his hand game too. I want to see what you would have done.
Yeah, let's actually just watch this like this. This is fine. We'll just watch this whole thing from here. But game 2 specifically, yeah, I'll give you my unbiased. Like this is what I would do turn 1. Threatening Roar. Yeah, full dupe block here for sure. Now, let me see. You didn't Rhoda. So Stratos is still in the deck, and so is Junk Synchron. So you're just
I wanted to have the option.
Exactly. Okay, I'm in agreement there. Yep.
And not give the information of which one I have, or if I have,
Yeah, 1, 2,
Either
3.
one.
So there's 3 fairies right now. This being the 4th. So this is a little bit of a scary spot you're in. Oh, well.
Yeah, I saw.
My God.
I saw him blow up, and I'm like, I lose. I'm fucked. Well, actually, no. I thought he was just gonna drop Christy, and I was gonna be at 22. But still, looking at my hand, what was I gonna do to Christy or JD? Like,
oh my God, why did he OD on you? Like they were teammates.
Yeah, exactly. All right, now this is. I mean, it's not like some crazy decision or something. But I'm just curious. I do think what I did to change the game. Okay, so that's all right. So what do you do here?
I'm setting Regeki breaking passing.
That's exactly what I did, and I believe it lost me the game.
Let's see.
I think the best move for me, I mean, maybe not the best statistically, but was to set Treeborn, set Regeki break.
So you got both options open? Sure. Okay.
Yeah, you can watch how this plays out.
Yeah,
I was like, oh no. And there's the Remaster Restrict.
Yup.
Which also I had no idea he was side decking Master Restrict.
So I'll tell you right now, every single Light Sworn, Christia Sworn, whatever Sworn deck, they side deck Master Restrict because it's so good against us and it doesn't really hurt them at all. So just know going forward, they all, every single time you play against Light Sworn, assume that this specific card is coming in. It's just a thing that they do. But I don't think that would have changed my turn one play. I think I still would have did exactly what you did. I would have been in the exact situation, except I guess I would not have Raigeki Break the face down monster because I'm just like, I don't have anything to convert.
Well, my reasoning was like, if I just pass, he's just going to flip Raikou and pop the Raigeki Break and get mills.
That's fair. I would just wait. Like, I honestly would just wait because I want to see where this is going. And like the mills, you know, obviously the mills can just be anything. They could be out of control and you can lose the game off of mills. But I do want to see if I can get something real off of it. I usually don't Raigeki Break face down monsters ever. I don't care what deck it is. But that could be a problem with the way I play. Okay, so he does end up milling a wolf here, which is not what
I guess my thought process was just like trying to like keep him off mills. Like
yeah. That's fair. Like I said, that's not like the wrong thing to do. I'll be more inclined to Wing Blast a face down monster though, because that like hurts a bit more. That was a good torrential. You're just one of those. I hate this spot. He has so many cards, and he has the mask, and you're just like, I don't have an out, and oh my god, what the fuck? Okay, so he just said that if you have heavy, I am accepting whatever happens, but he also conveniently set up to beckoning light for the 3 cards. So I see what he did. He made it so that he has 3 lights. Yeah. So okay, I get it. But
tell, like, he doesn't have a hand that does a lot right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, once I see Lightsworn do this, I'm either very nervous, which I would be, or I'm just thinking like, did he like kind of brick? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, right here, I'm like really hoping that this ocean like lives, but I was like, I know it's probably not going to, because I was like, I can get back Stratus and pop Master Restrict, that'd be great.
Yeah. He drew a Lila. That sucks.
Well, but I can take it with brain control at least.
Yeah, if this didn't happen, no, you definitely would have been like pretty much a shoo-in to win at that point. And he mills a wolf. Oof. So I guess this is just where it sucked. The unfortunate part for you is that he just has 2 of them.
You know, I actually thought for a while here if I wanted to just hit a random back row and go for like junk black rows, but then I just decided to hit the mask.
Yeah.
So I end up still doing that, but after realizing it's 2 masks.
Yep.
So I'm like, what else can I really do, I guess?
Yep, this is fair. Okay, so right here, let's see what the graveyard looks like. 1, 2, 3. You know he has Christie in his hand, right?
Yeah.
So he doesn't have right. So I think okay, this is fair. This is actually pretty decent. Yeah, you have Treeborn access. You have Soul Exchange. I'm actually shocked. Wait, hold on. I don't. Oh,
yeah,
this
no,
fucker.
He gets pretty lucky. As you see right there, he mills 1 fairy. I'm just like, damn. I'm so close to killing him right here too.
Well, I don't see how this isn't game.
Wait a minute, actually.
How is this not
Let's
game?
see.
Smash and ground, set Soul Exchange, summon Caius, banish Soul Exchange, attack the game.
What? Actually, I don't know why I didn't do that. I don't know. Like I didn't think that I had game in that time. So
also,
yeah, I don't know. I might have...
This getting through and then Caius main phase 2 for 1,000 is also game.
Let's see. Wait a minute.
Do you play Smash and ground? Are you? Oh no, you're not going to play Smash and ground.
Oh, he had Necro Gardna.
Okay, he has Necro Gardna.
That's why. Okay, I was like, damn. I was feeling really bad for a minute. Yeah, no, I couldn't win because of Necro Gardna.
Okay, that's fair.
And that's why I'm saying Raigeki breaking like that. That's what cooked me. Because like if I set the Treeborn and I was able to like Caius the Necro, I would have won this game.
Also, remember the Kaiku we talked about in the beginning of this this whole
yeah, Kaiku could have been good. It's
bro,
just,
you had Kaiku,
I was scared of the wolves, man.
You would have cooked them right here, bro. You would have been like normal stuff because they don't. The thing is, no one's ever gonna use Necro Guard in the draw phase. They're just not doing it. They're lying. If you would have went draw, wait for like 20 seconds, then go summon Kaiku, and he would have been like, oh wait, I was gonna do no. Well, he wouldn't do that because we're teammates, but like people would try to do that and be like, oh, I was gonna do something.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, you'd be like main phase 1 thumbs up. You know, you give the thumbs up main phase 1, and you'd be like, all right, normal summon, and then it's like, oh fuck, I'm cooked. But yeah, Necro Guard stops you from killing him. So right here, it's just kind of awkward because You literally just can't. How much damage were you able to do though?
Most amount of damage by smashing, and then Caius, he would have been. I'd been able to do 36, and he had what?
47.
Yeah, he would have been 11.
So I think that what if you smashing and still did display though, but you did smashing first. He blocks this. You do 3,000. You do 12 and
it's 1,200 more for trading for smashing.
Yeah, so you do 3,100. He's at 40. He was at 47. So you do 31. He goes down to like 16, and then you still have Soul Exchange, Caius, and Hanson. You keep the Caius, and you have Soul Exchange, Caius.
Well, I wanted the smashing to out the Christia, I guess, and then be able to tribute for Caius potentially, and like still win on that turn.
Yeah, I totally get it. It just I guess he's gonna have Herald of Orange Light.
No, that's not. I would have wanted to get Herald.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, I was like, damn.
Oh,
that's
fuck.
what I said. Yeah, the double honest.
Oh, bro, that's actually crazy. I didn't know you went out like this. I was asleep.
Yeah.
I didn't wake up on Sunday until like, or no, I wasn't asleep. I was doing something though. I had something to do, but I didn't see this. I came in like after this was already decided. That is crazy. Double honest. And you know he didn't have the first, like he only had one of them because of beckoning, I think. Or did he even have one of them? I don't think so.
I don't think I knew. Like I just knew he had one engraved. So.
Yeah, because he didn't have. I don't think he had any honest. To be honest.
Yeah,
he went
I don't
beckoning
think so.
light. He went beckoning light, and like he returned Celestia, Christia, and I think was it Arcus? I forget what the third one was, but yeah, I don't remember. This is wild though. Double honest for a game is crazy because you had a chance. Let's see. Hold on. Oh no, you didn't.
But I could just smash and ground the Christia.
No, I'm saying like I guess he just drew this. I guess he literally just drew it. So yeah, you'd be fine if you smash and ground the Christia. But then he drew all three. That's wild. Yeah, that's this.
Yeah,
this.
I mean, I think overall in this match, it was just mostly just not very. It was not really my day. You know, like
Yeah.
I was just in a bad spot, like in almost every situation. And if you notice, I don't think I drew Miracle Fusion at all.
I don't think I saw you resolve a Miracle Fusion in 2 replays.
Yeah, that was my whole tournament.
We watched 2 replays. You did not resolve Miracle Fusion in a single one of them. That's actually insane, to be honest.
That's what I'm saying, man. My draws for the whole weekend was not great. Like,
I mean, I
was really having to grind.
Yeah, I actually believe you because this is genuinely no Miracle Fusions and 2 replays is harsh. Like, it's one of the cards you kind of need to see to push you got to push them in quick. You got to win quick against this deck.
Yeah. And Miracle Fusion is like the card where like it really like dwindles down like all the resources to where like then the Monarchs and stuff just beat them or like whatever the heck you have beats them.
It's also very good against Mask Restrict. Like if you're going to restrict me, I'll just go Miracle Fusion. Like you could just lose with Mask Restrict. You know, like this game could have gone completely different obviously if you just drew one of your 3-ofs because he had multiple masks, which it's not good against Miracle Fusion. So, but you just happen to draw the tribute part of your deck, and it just lined up. I mean, congrats to MB. He got 3rd place, I believe, which is really
I know.
Just
great
really
run.
good. Yeah, great run. It was definitely his day. His mills were nice. The double honest was crazy. Like I did not see that coming. I did not see that coming at all. That caught
right
me
when he
all the
said
way up
calc. Right when he said calc, though, I was like, "Damn, I'm cooked." I was like, "It's over."
Yeah, I guess because he wasn't honest over 1.
Well, I sure hope not. I sure hope he wouldn't do that.
Yeah, because he's like, why would he be doing this unless it's 2 of them, right? So yeah, Christus Warren is a powerful ass deck, man. It has such a good matchup against frogs. I can't speak to the other matchup spreads that much. I guess it probably cooks Amaryllis, though. I imagine it beats that deck too, and that deck's becoming more popular too. So that's a good spot for it to be in.
Yeah, I think he got. Yeah, I know he lost the Amaryllis player, but I don't think their match was super close. Like I think he got beat pretty bad by the Amaryllis player, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, but I heard, if I'm not mistaken, I heard that like the guy milled insane or like some crazy.
No, I'm sure he did. Oh, I remember one play specifically. He marked the rose MB's Lumina and then used his Lumina to get back his Lila and then milled 6 and it was like Dandy double Amaryllis or something like that.
Yeah. That's a good play though. Like obviously that's a good play, but that also fucking sucks when, you know, the mills are that good. But you guys are both, here's the thing, y'all both playing ignorant mill decks at that point, so you gotta accept whatever comes with that, right? Like you're playing Christius Warren, which isn't exactly the most pleasant experience when somebody, like I don't like playing against this deck. This is one of the most unpleasant decks to play against.
Yeah, that's fair
frantic.
For sure.
Like I just feel frantic the entire game, right? Because you're constantly checking their graveyard for 4 names. You're constantly checking for 4 fairies. You're constantly worried that their mills are going to be wolf.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like not really like a grind game, like which is like usually what people would consider fun in Yu-Gi-Oh. Like it's like either I'm getting my just destroyed and he's gonna have JD and like all this crazy stuff, or like I'm gonna be able to beat them. But like it's not like playing through back row and like coming up with like a plan of how to get through everything. It's like either they have it or they don't. Like either they have like the nut cards or they just don't, and you can win. But like it's like a lot of it's not in your control.
Yeah,
which is never fun.
Man, yeah, this was a bad beat. Game 1 was rough, and then this game 2 just caught me off guard with the multiple massacre strikes. You did have the out to one of them, and then you had the out to both of them with the Black Rose play, and but it's still just Christia came down and double honest, which is that happens. But another top, which is really good, and that's amazing. Hero Frogs, your first time really playing it in a tournament. I don't recall you ever playing this deck in a tournament before.
No. But that's also good. One of my things is trying to play like every single deck pretty much.
Yeah. No, that's good shit. Really, really good showing there. So will you be at YCS Indianapolis at the end of the month?
I'm undecided. Feel about 50-50 right now. If I do go though, I'm going for speed duels for sure.
Yeah, you did that at Raleigh. How did that go for you? I saw you, but I didn't really see you that much. Like I saw you.
Yeah, it's interesting because like I talked to a couple of the people that were playing the Time Wizard tournament, but like it's definitely much different than if I'd played it. I would have like talked to you guys a lot more. But like it's like we're on different sides of the place basically.
Yeah.
But no, I ended up I got third at one of the giant card events, so I won like the giant or like the oversized, not the really big one, but the it's a neck, like a trap for Neospatians and heroes. So pretty solid. I enjoy speed duels. It's not like the best format on the planet or anything, but it's definitely like a breath of fresh air, and it's like it's pretty diverse. There's a lot of different decks you can play, and it's like it's fun because it's like the format is just like wide open as far as like people don't know what the best deck is. There really isn't deck lists, so it's like it's very much up to like you as the player to like go through and like figure out like what the best options are and stuff.
Yeah, it's not like pick value turbo, pick hero frogs.
Yeah, so it's like we like built our own deck and like tested it as like a group, and like one of my friends that like went with us also won the giant dandelion the day before. Like me and him were playing like pretty much identical decks, and he just like he ended up winning the whole thing. So
that's amazing. Yeah, that's really good. I saw that giant dandelion. I thought it was for us. It ended up not being for Edison, which is so funny. I think they're trolling.
Yeah, I mean it's still DMOC, which is like I guess not really an Edison card.
It's definitely not an Edison card. It's not legal at all, but it's a cool card. Don't get me wrong. I would love to have a DMOC, but it's just funny because there was there was a dandelion there, and I just assumed obviously that it's an Edison card. It's actually the Edison card, to be honest.
Yeah, from back in the day for sure.
Yeah, quick draw dandelion.
I do gotta say though, the DMOC being there actually was upsetting for me because I actually just got a giant DMOC in Vegas, and I'm like, damn, they made another one.
Wait, so that's an additional copy of the same exact one?
Yeah, I have a giant DMOC. I got it in Vegas. Like I grinded and got tickets, and like and I got the DMOC because it's like one of my favorite cards, probably my favorite card, I guess. But yeah, no, they just made another one, and I was like, that's a little frustrating, but oh well.
I didn't know that. That was actually kind of bad for the people who would win that. Like no,
it definitely is. But like I guess the thing for me is I was never planning on selling it, so it's like not that big of a deal. But
yeah, for you, annoying. Yeah, that kind of. I'm just imagining like if I had to play an Ultimate Time Wizard tournament and it's for the same card that already was a giant card somewhere else, it kind of just naturally supply and demand. It's just going to lower the secondary market value of the giant card at that point, unless it's like something unhinged insane. Like I still think Absolute Zero would be like a 10K giant card. If they make Absolute Zero, make it hollow, that shit is going to be so expensive. That should be Nationals. The Nationals should be Absolute Zero.
That would be really cool.
Yeah, because we haven't had a fusion.
DMOC is really still a very light card, so it's like not at least something that DMOC is something that like a lot of people would want.
Yeah, I agree. That DMOC is a cool as hell card for sure. I'm always just going to be caping for Absolute Zero and for Christia to be like the next ones because I really want them to be, and I want that to be the one that I win. That would be awesome. But
that would be really, really cool.
But all right, this was awesome. Thank you, Raikoko, for stopping by as always. And yeah, we will catch you in the next one. Do you want to give any shout outs or anything like that?
No, I don't really have anybody to shout out, I guess. I didn't really play test for the event or anything, so I just kind of ran with it and then ended up going pretty good.
All right, there you go. Sometimes you just gotta sack it out in life, Sometimes you gotta sack it the fuck out. All right, guys, I'm getting out of here. Peace.